Hey, MJ back here, and thought I'd check in while Snow's still on vacation, update on a few things. Over the course of the past week, Representative Paul Gosar came to Kingman to give us an update on the downwinders package that passed in the big, beautiful bill. And he gave some remarks at a quote-unquote press conference that was limited to just invited people, and I don't think I could have gotten into that. Even though I wanted to, couldn't get into it. But anyway, let's see here. This is Paul Gosar.
Conversation. Yes, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful afternoon. What a beautiful day. I'm going to tell you, this made my day. Oh, makes yours. People of Ohio County have waited decades for this day. I want you to be aware that the Department of Justice will review all RICA claims and award compensation. The Department is reviewing the amendments to the RICA and is preparing an additional guidance as we speak. To file a claim, go to www.justice.gov/civil/common/RICA. If you need any help filing a claim, my district office and the director, Penny Pugh, is here to assist. She's the young lady over here in the red. Or you can stop at the office, in our district office in Goodyear, located at 1300 South Litchfield Road, Suite 115H. It's the old airport that's there. You can also call my office at 623-707-0530. So let me see that one more time, slower. 623-707-0530. Thank you. Thanks for our speakers. Thank you, Chair, for being that person. God bless you.
You know, got a cough there, but that was Gosar, and he didn't really speak for long. But to his credit, that part did get into the bill, but more from Josh Hawley, more than anything else. So, hey, that was good. So give credit where credit was due. Our friend Cullin also spoke. Let's see if I can pull that up.
Is Cullin Patillo. I'm the son and younger Brigadier Patillo. He recently passed away about 3 years ago from a 30-year battle with multiple metastatic primary cancers. I would just like to give my heartfelt thanks to Congressman Gosar. It was, 10 odd years ago, I walked into his office with my dad, who was the president of Mojave County Downwinders Incorporated, which was our not-for-profit corporation at the time, with Danielle Stevens, Wade's mother, and several others. And we talked to him about the Downwinders. And this man right behind me, he never gave up. Unlike previous representatives, he gave us more than just face service. He did not introduce the bills that languished to Congress and died just so he could say, yeah, I introduced the bill and they wouldn't do anything about it. If it were not for Congressman Gosar, we would not have had field hearings in 2015-ish here in Mojave County, where we got to state our case for not only Gosar and ourselves, but the public, to document our experiences with that. Were it not for that, you wouldn't have had things like other representatives from Arizona helping push this through other committees, like the Senate Judiciary Committee, if I'm not mistaken. That was when that happened, I was like, ecstatic. That was the furthest I ever thought we'd ever get, but it happened. And then things started really rolling here in the last couple of years. Thank goodness for the movie Oppenheimer. People were finally interested in our fight, and the continued hit after hit this issue, and Congressman Gosar to keep pushing it finally gave us enough horsepower that it could get through the Senate and the House of Representatives and not have a delayed reconciliation bill or anything else. And for that, I am eternally grateful. I never dared imagine this day that we would succeed coverage for Southern Mojave County under the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act of 1990. And I will tell you, people will tell you that this was an administrative error, and it may well have been, but they changed the boundaries of the coverage during the 2000s. We were left out then, too. They included the northern part of Mojave County. That was better than nothing, but we were specifically left out in 2000 as well. So we fought, with the help of Congressman Gosar, what I once thought was an unwinnable battle, and we finally won. So at this time, I would just like to, give my heartfelt thanks to Congressman Gosar, other members of our entire state delegation to Congress. They have always been behind us, no matter who they were or which party they belonged to. I would like to give my thanks to Congressman Josh Hawley, who very strategically pushed this issue in the Senate and got people to toe the line, finally, to give us a semblance of justice. And I am eternally grateful. On top of that, I would like to thank the most recent officers of the defunct Mojave County Downwinders Incorporated, which used to be our nonprofit, Henry Varga, Matt Capaldi, Gary Watson, myself, Gene Bishop, and then posthumously, I would like to just remember my father, Cullin Patillo. He was a man among men, and I dearly miss him. He was loved by one and all, and he was a very good childhood friend. We also miss today is Danielle Stevens and Annie Bishop, and I've just been informed that another one of the Sugar Bishop clan is fighting for their life of cancer, Mr. Revolt. Flaubelt. And it just gives me kind of a moment to reflect, some poignancy. I'm very happy that this is a good day. Thank you very much, Michael.
Excuse me there. And you had people turning on him. The Charlie Kirks and Alex Joneses were actually turning, and you thought, "Oh, is this what makes or breaks it? Is this where people finally split off?" And Alex Jones went on his social media and was like,
"Cover up. The Trump administration has become part of it. I mean, it's just you cannot see it any other way." So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. Because I have integrity. And, I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country. They're doing so much good. And then for them to do something like this, it hurts my guts out. And, the left, they're all complicit. They're openly promoting pedophilia. We know they're pure evil. And they'll think it's all funny. Oh, look, Alex, part of the cover-up. The Trump administration has...
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, it's the Democrats. Always, it's the Democrats are the evil ones and not... got all the other mental gymnastics that they do. And yeah, if there's Democrats on it, yeah, sure. Clinton's on it. Who knows who else? Fine. We're the ones who are like, fine. Let's go at it. Eat our own. Come on. But unfortunately, the world we live in. And then, like, the Charlie Kirk, who did his conservative conference, and the show of hands, who wants to see the Epstein files released, and they all raise their hands, and a couple days later, Trump says, don't talk about it. This is done, there's nothing to see here, and he goes on, well, I'm just going to trust the president. It's just all just a bullshit. And so, I think even Alex Jones kind of flips here, and then this was him yesterday.
As you know, I just called balls and strikes. And after years of saying we'll release the Epstein file or list, suddenly they're not going to, and we're told it doesn't exist. But then Trump comes out last night and says, well, it does exist, but the Democrats had control of it, manipulated it, which is actually true. They've had control, but they would destroy anything they didn't want in there, leave what they wanted in there, that their investigators could plant. trying to call balls and strikes. I'm trying to look at every angle of this and understand what's happening, understand why the Trump administration did a 180 the last few months, and particularly the last week, and did this, and then blames loyal supporters who support the overall agenda as being traitorous for doing this. And we all know what triggered this. It was Elon 2 months ago saying, look, Trump's in the list, and that big break up there, and then Trump wants it closed, he wants it shut down, which looks extremely incriminating. But from all my deep research, never saw Trump involved in any illegal activity with Jeffrey Epstein. So we are simply here tracking this case, not choosing a side, not wanting to make things be what we want them to be, but simply looking at the facts. But I dropped the ball. I didn't even think about the fact. I'm like, oh yeah, they've had the list, they've had the files for years. The Democrats would take stuff out and destroy it. Well, that's obvious. They would leave in and twist and put in what they wanted. They have a long history of false documents, reports, Crossfire Hurricane, the list goes on and on. January 6th. So we've got to investigate this. We've got to keep open minds about this on all angles. But this is the big story. And this is what the Trump, as you know, I just called balls.
And so, just unbelievable. Unbelievable. But, I guess we will never find out, and this will never fracture the MAGA base and whatever they're in, whatever spell they're under. The guy's too powerful. The Republicans, probably wanted to see that information come out, but they're not going to go against the leader. I think none of them voted against it. Well, didn't vote at all. Not vote against it. They didn't vote at all. So they wouldn't have to face the wrath of this guy. And I don't know. I just don't understand it. But, talk like that's probably going to get me into alligator Alcatraz. And then finally, with your, pretty good news, many of you heard there was a fire at the north rim of the Grand Canyon, and the Grand Canyon Lodge there was lost, and apparently it was due to a lightning strike, not uncommon in the desert. But what's strange about it was the federal government decided to treat it as a controlled burn, so this happens out west. You see it in the mountains and around Kingman, Arizona, that they'll have controlled burns just to keep, the vegetation down and stuff like that. But why they let a controlled burn go on so close and then yet consume, the Grand Canyon Lodge is just baffling. Unless, I don't really believe in conspiracy theories, but if I did, I would, presume that maybe they did it so, burnt land is better than, overgrown land, and then it would be easier to sell if they decide to sell off federal properties, which is in, I think they took that out of the Big Beautiful Bill, actually, but it was something that they wanted to do, was sell off federal land for privatization. And, what would be better than putting a Trump resort where the Grand Canyon Lodge used to be. Just thinking out loud there. Just every day is just a nightmare. And we hope to get back at this full time soon. I'll be doing a quick few updates here and there, and I got a couple episodes maybe lined up until snow gets back and we get back on our regularly scheduled programming. But anyway, thank you for tuning in and listening. That's a quick update, and we will talk to you later. Bye.